Hey guys, Silverlord here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the NECA Toys Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Universal Monsters Raphael as Frankenstein's monster. Now before we get into it here, let's first take a look-see at both the front and the back of the packaging. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now before we get into the meat and taters of this review, Raphael does come with a pair of fisticuffs so he can punch you right in the kisser. He also comes with a pair of Kung Fu grip hands, which of course can be used to wield his electrode size. Question mark. Yeah, very interesting look for Raphael's iconic psi weapons, but they do fit into the whole Frankenstein's monster motif, so I approve of this. You can even see that the blade is shaped like a lightning bolt there. Very cool. That said, that is all this guy comes with as far as accessories are concerned. The other two monster turtles I currently have, Michelangelo and Leonardo, come with significantly more stuff, and you could even argue the case that Raphael is getting ripped off based off the sheer size of the Leonardo figure, but we'll talk about that in the next couple of days here. So, taking a closer look at Raphael as Frankenstein's monster. Looks really freaking cool, man. I dig this a lot. He's got the chain belt here, which if I take one of his psi weapons, you can kind of fudge this in there. It has to go in a certain way in order for it to work, really, but it can be done. I'd like to show it on camera, though, so I don't look like a total doofus. There we go. And as you can see, you could store his size on his belt like you would normally. That said, this side's a little bit trickier because he's got this big metal plate over where I assume his heart is. It's kind of morbid, but that is the nature of this line. So as far as articulation is concerned, his head will rotate side to side. He can look up and down a little bit. There we go. It's just a little sticky on mine. As well as tilt side to side. His bandana can rotate all the way around, like so. Careful you don't want to tear it, but mine is loose enough to where it will rotate all the way around. Very soft plastic too. Shoulders can move forward and back. They do hinge out. But again, like most NECA figures, you're probably going to want to heat these before you really start monkeying with them, but the shoulders can move out quite a bit there. I don't get it to move out anymore. Nah, that seems to be it. Which is okay. He is a lovable oaf of a monster here, so I don't expect him to have the most range. He's got swivel at the elbow, at both the top and the bottom of the elbow. He's got a double jointed elbow. And then, of course, there is the bottom swivel right there at the forearm. And he does have a swivel and a hinge at the wrist. Most of the wrist hinges on these guys you're going to want to heat up. They do come out the package quite stiff and or stuck, so be careful when moving those. Unlike some Turtles figures, to my knowledge, he does actually have a waist swivel in here. At least I thought he did. And he's got the little smallest fraction of a waist swivel. It's not much. It just kind of wiggles a little bit, but it's there. His hips can kick out to the side about that far. Back down, kick forward and back a little bit, hindered by his turtle body there. He's got a quasi thigh cut up in here because his his hips are on ball pegs, so he gets a built-in thigh swivel. But you do get your actual thigh swivel at the top of the knee there. I will say, watch out for these chains. They can come loose sometimes, especially this one on mine. There's a tendency to fall down if it's not fastened just right. It's got a double knee. It does work okay. It's hindered by his ginormous knee pads, so be aware of that. That said, I think he has a swivel at the bottom of the knee. No, he does not. He just has it at the top, which I think is the case for all the turtles. I think they only have the swivel at the top of the knee. I don't have April at this time, so I can't tell you how that figure works, but I do plan on picking her up at some point. And for the feet, he's got a rocker with a hinge. And of course, he's got peg holes at the bottom of the feet, but he's got the big old honkin' Frankenstein shoes. I don't really need that. He could stand just fine without a stand of any kind. Though the McFarlane toy stands, and I think NECA makes their own stands, do work well with these turtle figures. There we go. Pop that arm in all the way. Well, pop it down. It's already popped in. What am I talking about? But yeah, I really like this figure, man. I've had him the longest. I got him back in the spring. Was saving him for this occasion because I wanted to review, you know, all the monster turtles that came out during this Halloween spooktacular I'm putting on. But it's only able to afford 3 of the 4 that are out. But the 4th one, if I'm being honest, is probably the weakest link as far as I'm concerned. I love Bride of Frankenstein. April O'Neil's a cool character, but that figure just, it's not as interesting as the turtles, you know? I would have rather they put out the Invisible Man Donatello as opposed to that, so we'd have all 4 turtles, but that's just me. And side note, wasn't Michelangelo Frankenstein's monster in the vintage line? I used to have that figure. I sent it to a good buddy of mine a long time ago. And I'm not going to lie, I kind of wish I still had it, but it is what it is. That is the nature of trades. But I think Raphael, wasn't he the mummy? Or the Metaluna mutant or something like that? Or was he the Invisible Man? I can't remember. I don't have any of those old Universal Monsters turtles, so I can't reference them in any way. So if anyone's got those and knows what's up, which one was Raph, let me know in the comments, because I am very curious. I want to say it was the Metaluna mutant, the Invisible Man, or the Mummy, but I can't remember offhand. So with that being said, I also unfortunately don't have much to compare this guy to, because I only have at this current time 3 NECA turtles, and you'll probably be able to guess which ones those are. So we're just gonna bust out the 2 regulars, and for better or for worse, take a look at some size comparisons. And last, but certainly not least, we have our 2 regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus Lemon Spawn, who's not exactly towering over everyone as usual, but he does stand just a hair taller than good old Raphael here. If Al Simmons had hair, that is. So that being said, time to wrap things up, some final thoughts. Overall, and while I may not have the most extensive collection of NECA Turtles figures out there, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't the least bit stoked when they revealed that they were doing this Universal Monsters mashup line, because as a kid, I loved Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, particularly the 2003 series, and with age, I've come to love and appreciate all of the Universal Monsters movies, both good and bad. Probably know which ones I'm talking about. Wolfman! But when they finally revealed that they would be making my favorite turtle, Raphael, into one of my favorite monsters, Frankenstein's monster, I knew I had to have it. I knew I had to check it out and do a review for you guys, because this right here is an Overlord action figure line. Because I'm going to be honest with you, the other turtle stuff they've been doing lately hasn't really been doing it for me. Wasn't into the cartoon stuff, wasn't really into the movie stuff, wasn't really into the video game stuff. But when they unveiled this, I knew I had to check it out. And boy am I glad that I did, because I have to say, out of all the NECA Turtles figures that I've seen, this one right here is one of the most creative and fun figures they have done in the entirety of their ownership of the Ninja Turtles license. I mean, this figure has the potential of being in the top 10 of the year. I'm not gonna lie. So if you're at all interested in Ninja Turtles or Universal Monsters, I highly recommend you pick this up and check it out because, again, it's just fun. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, isn't it? So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you're so inclined, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. And if you haven't already, please hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions. But as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is, especially when, as stoked as I am to be checking out this line for you guys this week, I think it's BS that we only got 3 of the brothers. Like, I like April O'Neil and Splinter too, but not getting Donatello in the first year of this line, that's just messed up, man. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.